Hi. Okay, so today I'm going to teach my mom 4 instructional strategies. The first one is applied behavior analysis. The second one is direct instruction. The third one would be backward chaining, and the last one would be forward chaining. So for the first one, applied behavior analysis is the scientific approach of discovering environmental variables that reliably influence social significant behavior for developing a technologically of behavior change that takes practical advantage of those discoveries. A good ABA approach we call would be redirecting behavior. So when you have a student who is maybe frustrated with their work or does not want to do their work, you can redirect behavior by an array of things, such as you can, this is a good question, so what happens when you take video? You can do a lot, for instance, if there's negative behavior, such as drawing on their desk, you can give them the task of asking them with small verbal cues, please do your work, and then if they still draw, you ignore it, so a lot of ignoring negative behavior, until that they will comply or until they finish their task. If it takes them over an hour, you still let them write it out, but they can't do any preferred activity like play Legos until their work is done, such as finishing math. So the next one would be direct instruction. So direct instruction is a systematic way of teaching. Direct instruction has well-developed and carefully planned lesson plan. It allows for small increments of learning. This can be the content of what is being taught and also the amount of time spent on the content. Direct instruction also has clearly defined teaching tasks. For instance, direct instruction, you can make a well-done lesson plan like this one, so you guys can see here. In it talks about the grade level that you're aiming for. You can get more specific if it's for one specific child or for 2 specific children. You can do your objective, your summary of what you're going to do. For this one, I did an ABA approach. You talk about what you're going to do. You're talking about any standards that are being met. You can even put in the goal if you're doing a small group of people or even one child, like the goals that they're working on. Some students may have similar goals. That's why you would put them together in your lesson. That way it's designed specifically for them. If you're doing more broad, you would just put maybe the content and the standards that need to be met. And then you can cater your lesson plan a little here and there by making accommodations or modifications for that specific student, especially working with mod severe kids. So that would be one way to do direct instruction. The next one is backwards chaining. Backwards chaining is where the steps or tasks are modeled and redirected, then the instructor steps back and assists when needed. So for instance, that would look like this. We could do this with mod severe students who have life skills. For instance, I have a client who's learning to make the bed. He would take pillows off of bed, would be your first step, and you would show this to him, or you could even do them together at the same time. Pull the bed sheet up to the top of the bed was your second step. With your third step, you would pull duvet in the same manner up on top of the sheet to top of the bed, and then his last step would put pillows back on the bed. If the student can do 1 and 2 but can't do 3 and 4, then you would go in and start from steps 3 and 4. Sometimes you could just do steps 2 and 3 and let them do 1 independently, and if they can do 4 independently, would be the goal to have them all do it, but if not, then you could then direct them until they're completely doing it independently. Whereas forwards chaining is a little bit the same but different. It's a method of teaching a task in sequence but only moving on to the next task after the first step is mastered. Where backwards chaining, you could go a little bit all over the place with that as long as you have a systematic way of doing it. So again, with making the bed, forward chaining would be take pillows off of bed. You would do it together, each step until they could master each step. And till they master each step, and then you would let them do it independently. So you wouldn't really let go of that structure until they can fully complete it. So those are the 4 instructional strategies. Thanks.